A good coach up there again.
We're going to start today with trying to figure out how we stop Josh Allen. Now, I should preface this. The weather, I think I heard at one point yesterday they were calling for 3 feet of snow in Buffalo. Is that true?
I've heard down to 2 feet, but
2
yes.
feet now. Well,
I was looking at the forecast. I'm certainly no weatherman, and obviously, as we know in Cleveland, when it comes to snow and lake effect snow, things can change, right? You can get 15 inches by your house, Jay, on the east side,
That's
and there could be
very
2
true.
inches of snow in Rocky River or
Very
Lakewood,
true.
where G and I live.
Right.
So the same thing happens in Buffalo because they get that lake effect snow too. I remember there was one storm where Orchard Park, where the Bills play, there was 2 feet of snow, and Brockport, which is 40 minutes away, had 2 inches of snow.
yeah,
So it can be crazy
it's
like that.
unpredictable.
However,
if there is snow, who has the advantage?
My first thought would be the Browns, because you think snow, you're going to run the ball. The Browns have a good running game. The Bills don't really have much of a running game. However, my second thought was, well, the Bills are going to be who they are. And Josh Allen is so big and strong and has, for the most part, become accurate, although 2 of the last 3 weeks he has not been, that I think he can have success in any conditions. I don't think the conditions are going to affect him. And I think the Browns, who want to be balanced more than the Bills do, will have a harder time doing that, because I think Jacoby Brissett, like most quarterbacks, but unlike Josh Allen, is more likely to struggle in the snow than Josh Allen will. So,
True, and to that point, Josh can run it if he has to.
You know what? I think, call me crazy, but with his elbow injury, if I'm the Browns, anytime he drops back to pass, I'm playing it so he make him throw the ball, because I think he's most dangerous right now using his legs. I would really make him throw the ball. Because I don't think right now, the way his elbow is, I don't know. I don't know if the deep ball is there. And if I'm playing corner this week, he got to show it to me first.
Some of his interceptions were just decision
Well, he leads the league in picks.
Yeah, and some of them on the last.
The last one, Pat Pete, he threw it late and threw it straight to him.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, so I think he's most dangerous right now to me, running the ball.
You've played in snow, obviously as a defender. Do you feel that you have an advantage or a disadvantage in snow?
Well, when it's snowing, the snow doesn't really.
It's an equalizer.
Yeah, it's the wind. If the wind is blowing, then the passing game, you can cancel Christmas on that. But if it's just snow, everything is still alive. Now, I will say that ball gonna be wet, so I'm definitely punching and ripping at that ball, because it's gonna come out more times than not.
But do you think it'll be a factor on Sunday?
I think both teams will run the ball. If the snow is on the ground and the ball gets wet, they'll run the ball.
Well, doesn't that, to Bull's point, favor Cleveland?
You would think. But we can't stop the run.
You're right.
So we can sit here. If it was a sunny day out there, we'd be like, oh, well, we got to stop Diggs, Davis, Knox, all these people. You know what they do? Run the ball. Because that's how you beat the Browns right now. You have all these great wide receivers, but you know what? Run the ball. You know why? Because defensively, they're going to come in here and say, we got to find a way to stop Stephon Diggs. We got to find a way to stop Gabe Davis. They're not going to think that Devin Singletary is going to come out there and run the ball. So that's what we're going to do, run the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Miami did.
Why? This is one of the worst teams at stopping the run. Why would we throw it? Bill Belichick, run the ball.
Did you see the numbers that Jason tweeted, sent in our text chain last night?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
So
it's like historically.
So it says not only are the Browns 32nd in, I think the stat was run efficiency.
It was defensive EPA against
defensive EPA. Not only are they 32nd, they're 32nd by a mile.
They like worse.
You want the numbers?
And also give, if you would, the historic number. Because not only are they bad by this year's measure, they're bad all time. I think they were the worst since they've been keeping this stat.
I wish we could go back
to
the first day of this show when y'all asked me about this.
I know. I remember you going in on it.
Here's the text from Jason in abbreviated clean version. The Browns' total rush defense EPA this year is minus 34.76, so negative 34.76. The next worst, negative 10.51, so 24 points worse than the regular. It's almost too bad to be a reality. It's the worst run defense in at least 22 years from when they started tracking the stat.
So what we're talking about isn't just a bad run defense.
Run the ball.
We're talking about, since they've been keeping this metric,
It's a Bills
the
ball.
worst run defense that the NFL has ever known.
I'm just going to keep
And to be that bad, guys.
Yeah.
I started to cut you off there, G.
No,
but
go
to
ahead.
be that bad, obviously, Tyvis, you're talking about the talent, whatever. When it's that bad, when it's that standout bad, it can't just be the talent. It can't be, because it's not like what do they have by far the worst talent in front seven in the history of football in the modern? That's silly. There's been plenty of terrible front sevens. So it's got to be more to it than just the players, and that's we talk about the DC.
What do you guys think about that?
Well,
I mean, the players are the one out there on the field.
I keep going to this, man. You know what? I've been saying it for 3 years, man. Like, these guys, Joe Woods is just not a very good coordinator. He's just not. And I know a lot of times people just say, well, give it another year, or give him his ingredients, give him some more stuff, do all this other stuff, nonsense. I said it the second that they let Chad Henne run for 14 yards on third down.
That broke my heart.
That was it.
That's a shame.
For me, those egregious mistakes like that tell me whether you got it or you don't.
That was the play that kept them from going to the AFC.
To the AFC
That's a
Championship.
shame.
And doesn't that seem like 1,000 years ago?
And that's what they sometimes.
There's a lot of more plays than that happened in that game.
There are, but that play was the one. If they stopped them there, the
fumbling
game-
that ball might have been the one. Go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you this. It goes to intent. If you're a lawyer, you're proving intent by certain different things people do in the court of law. I'm looking at what you meant by that, looking at the extenuating circumstances. And when I looked at Joe Woods, I looked at that's a characteristic of who he is as a play caller. It's the lack of aggressive tendencies. So even when you have a team down and it's in your advantage, and this guy has not thrown a pass, hasn't done anything, and he comes in and you let him just do that, not only does that say that you don't have an aggressive mind state, it means you can't read the room, you don't know about what the time and tendencies dictate, and you would rather try to let them make a mistake on their own rather than you causing.
He's not forcing mistakes.
He's not forcing nothing.
Is he the least aggressive defensive coordinator that you've seen in a while, Tyvis?
All time?
Because it's constantly four-man rushes.
Yeah.
There's nothing exotic. There's nothing creative. There's nothing that puts pressure on the other team.
Like he doesn't blitz at all. And I've been in this scheme for the majority of my career in the league. And Robert Saleh blitzed, and Chris Richard blitzed. That's in I think he's in the Saints now, but he was the D coordinator when I was in
And
Seattle.
that's the same system.
And it was so bad on the blitzes that they actually hated it in Seattle. Like, the players hated it, but he called it a lot because he felt that they needed to get pressure there. But the players like Sherm couldn't stand it because it leaves holes in the defense, and some teams will pick up the blitz and hit the gap. So I don't know if Joe Woods is afraid of that, but sometimes you gotta risk something.
He does seem like he's coaching afraid, and I don't know who it was yesterday. Someone said that on the program.
If you're scared, go to church.
It's on Sunday.
Go to church.
Someone on the program this week said.
Yeah, someone said it was.
I can't remember.
It was on Monday. We talked about it on Monday, and to kind of help us explain some of these defensive miscues that the Browns have gone through and some of Joe Wood's schemes is our man Coach Tyvis.